Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and it's been a couple weeks. I took some time off, but we're back, and I'm going to continue on with the story. Last episode, we were tracking down a spy, and we were talking to Ilberd, so let's finish this up. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Royale's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You'll doubtless wish to make certain preparations, so see to them while I go on ahead. I'll wait for you at Sweetburn Bloom Pier. Well, I don't really have anything to do, so let's just follow him. We already took our break, right? Oh, as you can tell, Easter's going on. Now, the holidays don't necessarily follow the United States time periods. Now, we had Easter and then this happened, and this has been going on for several weeks. Right, let's head to the Lancers Guild. And we're going to grab a ferry down here. There's Ilberd. Oh, let's fix our chocobo. Set him to heal. And let's grab some orange juice. I'll drink a couple of those. Now, the orange juice might give you some stats. I don't worry too much about the stats. What I drink the orange juice or eat the food for is the extra experience. You get a little boost in experience every time you fight, so that's why I do that. Over time, a lot of people don't do it because it doesn't give you a whole lot, but over time it adds up. It really does. So there you go. Let's get our carbuncle out and then talk to Ilberd. This way, my friends. Oh, it's Uguri. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorne hut. If Royale is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You're no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we've installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we've made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royale would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Vanland without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. It is for this reason that I believe that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elsian are a common sight around here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch Royale in the act. My people report that our quarry has departed for the bramble patch. The ivy returns to the gnarls whence she came, but perhaps it's all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garlean masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Yeah, this is only the beginning. Some really nasty stuff is coming. Some game changers for our group of scions, for sure. Just beyond, Royal is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer, an imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it, with me. Flame Marshal Eileen Royal, you're under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation! Ninjas falling out of the sky. You're unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle. If you wish to fight, you're welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. Yeah, you'd feign ignorance then? Very well. If you don't think of something to say, there'll be plenty of time to say it later. Now, come quietly, or shall we make you wish you had? I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have nothing to hide. Even a warrior of her renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness that her position is unattainable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap, then the people of Ulda will have the grand company they deserve. But let me speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Roland? So the Scions seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Well, I dare say you're eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray, don't let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, have you considered training in the art of the shinobi? You have the aptitude for it, I believe. So please, give it some time. So please, give it some thought. Till next time, my friend. Okay, I guess we're back to speak to Minfilia. And it looks like the gang's all here. What's she doing? Oh, I thought those were knives. Are they? No, they're bottles. Welcome back, Roland. I understand that Alphinaud had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Aline Royal? Well, I can scarce believe it. Could there not be some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust that the authorities to uncover it. Let's speak of another matter. I'm pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It's there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystals she stole from the House Fortamp's caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint. But if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Aethernet and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetherite to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetherite upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Sherilyn. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you're here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I'm certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let's make our way to the northern gates and await for her coming. Now, at this point, we don't know who this person is that we're meeting and greeting. Going through the storyline, though, I always felt that there was a big part missing here. This is a character that is very well liked, and we have no background. There could have been a lot of story to this, and there wasn't. And it's like an opportunity missed, if you will. I always would have liked to know a whole lot more about this character.
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
So she mentioned Urianger, and later on in the story, there'll be more back story as to the two of them. But I could say something now, but I think I'm going to wait because it comes out in the story. Let's return to the Rising Stones at once. We have much to discuss. Hey folks, we got company. Did nobody see them come in?
It's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister. A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
What? You idiot.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
You tell him.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Urianger, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me? I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it then, your missing aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
Okay. Now, we've been around Urianger quite a little bit, and you've heard the way he talks with the these and thous. There's a backstory there that doesn't necessarily come out where it's easily known. And I've spent enough time on the game and the lore and stuff that what happened was when he was a child, his learning was done by old dusty books, which were written in that kind of a language. And that's how he learned to speak. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you've done on our behalf, Roland, and that I have faith that you will return to us, as you always have. All right, we gotta go meet with Alphenod. Good to see you, Roland. I'm starting to wonder if you're having second thoughts. Captain Earlbird sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Aline in Ulda, even as we speak. But I won't distract you with the matter at hand. We can discuss. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the ivy upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say that the others are waiting for us at the Aetheryte. After you, Scion. There, it's ready. Why didn't they just shoot their Aether into the thing in the first place instead of putting it in that thing first? That didn't make no sense. Ha! It worked. Well, I think. Try attuning to the Aetheryte now. If you feel the current, and try to locate the beacon. Feel the current and try to locate the beacon. We've done all we can do, Roland. For now, anyway. Let's withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon that we've created. If by the grace of the 12 you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. We can't ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, you have little chance to... And if she succeeds, you'll have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moonbreeda's experiment, but others will surely agree that the desperate times call for desperate measures. Ah, before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Emmerich. Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person, and he asks that I read to you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need it is not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Roland Painter, the warrior of light, savior of Erosia, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you chose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in service for a greater cause. May Haloni bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Okay. I guess I'm going in. I'll see you when I come out.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dwarvians are skilled with glamours, after all. Well, look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Well, fair enough. I was only asking. If you ask me, there's naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. Ah, but before that, you had best pay a visit to White Brim Front and speak with Alphinaud. He's probably worried sick about you. That or he's busy playing at politics with his guardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and hearty. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again. Alright, well, let's head back to White Brim. Yes, a summoner should have a carbuncle to ride, don't you think? One that farts out whatever sparkles that is. There he is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have Roland to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we've accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Aye, there is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Dromont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies that Herdic stole from the House Fortomp's caravan? Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. On one unrelated note, Roland, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit, of course, but a certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I'm told. Horsefant. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him. Alright, let's go talk to Horsefant. How do I get out of here? I'm not going down there, it's too long. I'll go up to the top. Woohoo! Man, it's cold up here. I'm fine, don't worry. What were you thinking, Roland? Wagering your very being on a dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva. And then engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the Fury, Roland. 'Tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of the dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now, and that's what truly matters. Let's move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphinaud in private. He does await you in the intercessory.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Natalan.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We, too, have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgardsormr could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learnt to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them.
Well, he is trying to help in his way, but, you know, he can't be seen to be going against what his wishes of his own nation are.
I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind?
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
And with that, it's time to take a rest, and we'll continue in the next episode. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you then.